Another tough loss for Arizona State as they fall to the Colorado Buffaloes by a final score of 27-24 off of Alejandro Mata game-winning field goal late in this contest. I'm your host, Frank Miller, joined by new member of Burn City Sports, Zach Tipton. And Zach, it was a really good game for Arizona State's offense, particularly. I just want to get your thoughts on today's game. What did you think overall from today's game?
Yeah, to me, I thought, Arizona State did all the right things. I thought they played well offensively. They made a ton of big stops defensively, a ton of sacks. Really got to Shedeur Sanders and made him uncomfortable in the pocket, which is something a lot of teams have not been able to do this year. So it was really good to see that defense prepare, but it really came down to one blown coverage on that 40-yard catch by Javon Antonio late in the game. And unfortunately, that's what cost Arizona State one mistake. But it's a mistake they made all too much this year, and a mistake that is going to come back to bite them in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona State, for the most part on defense, did really good on the go balls today, but that last drive by Shedeur Sanders, as he threw that 43-yard pass to Javon Antonio for the game to set up the game-winning field goal for Alejandro Mata at the end of the game, was a killer for this Arizona State defense as they now fall to 1-5. And Shedeur Sanders, after the game, said that he went Brady mode again. So that's something that's really tough to take away, as ASU is going to have to go into the bye week with another loss on the column.
He might have gone Brady mode, but it was not the prettiest performance on his part. He missed a lot of wide open passes. He missed a lot of, open wide receivers. But for Shedeur and for Deion, that offense needs to get better. It struggled again tonight. It struggled a lot recently, but it just came down to that. But at the end, he made the play. That's all you have to do. And unfortunately, Trenton Burgett made the play as well, but it didn't fall in the cards for ASU. They dropped to 1-4, which is just not where you want to start the season. And for Colorado, this is a big win for them after dropping 2 in a row. So we'll see how it goes from there.
Absolutely. And one thing, too, for this game was it was another big sellout crowd for ASU, as this is the second consecutive sellout crowd. This is the first time it's happened for the program since 2009, which is a big takeaway from this game. And also the stars were out today again, former athletes and current athletes such as Damian Lee from the Phoenix Suns and Kyler Murray for the Arizona Cardinals, who is still coming back from an ACL injury that he suffered last year, was in attendance for this game to see ASU versus Colorado. So it's good to see that the program is getting people to come to the game. Now, granted, it was USC and Colorado, two big houses and powerhouses in the Pac-12, but so far so good for Kenny Dillingham as he's trying to set the tone of this program moving forward.
Yeah, Kenny Dillingham had one message for the fans afterwards, and that was, we want you to keep coming. We want to bring this program into a home field advantage. You want this home field advantage. You're one of the best in football. And tonight it was. I always got to be on the field at the end of that game, and it was one of the loudest I've ever been a part of in a home environment, especially on that last drive before the 45-yard catch. It was so loud in here. The fans were on their feet. The fans were excited because they thought they were going to win. Unfortunately, they didn't, but it was still an awesome environment to see, and this is what Arizona can get more of if they start winning more games. That's the thing. In order to have a fan base, you have to win games. And ASU has not been able to win games in the last few years. This is the first year under Dillingham, so he obviously can, bring this program back. It's going to take him a couple of years, but in order to get the fans to come out every game, they have to be a national powerhouse, and they have to win games. They just aren't doing that right now, so we need more of that to get the fans out more.
Absolutely, Zach. And one last thing before we wrap up, I wanted to get your thoughts on the ASU's offense. I thought they played terrific. They kind of got stagnant in the second half. I thought they picked it up on that last drive by Bourguet in the fourth quarter. Elijah Badger was awesome for 134 yards today on 16 targets, which is crazy. His screen game was great. The dig routes were fantastic. Scatterboo was a little non-existent, but I just want to get your thoughts on today's offense.
I mean, this is what you want to – Trenton Burgett's one of the best game of his career, maybe. 335 yards and a touchdown is an incredible game. The main thing that Kenny Dillingham preached all week was he wanted to create more of explosive plays. ASU had 6 20-plus yard passes today. A lot of down the middle. They focused on the middle more. They weren't going outside much. They were going down the middle, which really helped with this Colorado defense and cornerbacks being able to really run with their guys on the outside. Coming up the middle was huge. So for Dillingham in this offense, that's what you want to see more of. You want to see more Burgett take over this game. Yes, Dillingham is a run-first coach, But when the run game isn't working, or when you have a star like Hans Scottabell who can't really play that much or has unlimited snaps, you need Burgett to come and be a star. And he was a star tonight. And ASU's offense was starlight tonight. It just didn't fall the way at the end.
Yep, they played good complementary football, but at times ASU's offense didn't come through for the defense, and times defense didn't come through for the offense. For the most part, they kept the ball clean. There was no turnovers. There were some sacks in the second half, but ended up working out well for this team overall as they continue to go
absolutely.
forward.
Dillingham's got to be really happy with his effort. I know he is. You know, going into the bye week, this was a great effort going into the bye week, and hopefully they come out with a new motivation and a healthy team. You know, Coach Dillingham stated 10 starters were out for this game, so his main thing was he wanted to come back healthy after the break. That was all he wanted. So we'll see how that goes. But that was an incredible game and one amazing show to watch.
That'll do it for this takeaway from our game with ASU versus Colorado. Feel free to follow us on Twitter/X, on Instagram, social media, on YouTube, as we'll be having live, or not live, but coverage of Burn City sports for ASU sports and in particular football. They're going to be on a bye next week, so there won't be as much stuff, but feel free to look on our website, burncitysports.com. We'll have a lot of mid-season takeaways from the season so far. But that'll do it here at Mount America Stadium. I'm your host, Franklin Miller, joined by Zach Tipton. Have a good night, everybody. Drive safe.